we've got three big-time guests here, and let's go with them right now. First of all, it's going to be Glenn White at 12:15. The former Unicoi County head football coach is now the head coach of the Cleveland Highlanders. I'm kind of surprised about that because I remember talking to him last year, and he thought that when Mike Lunsford left, he was going to leave too. He was the defensive coordinator at Cleveland. He's a good football coach. However, yeah, he was a good football, but he wasn't ready to give it all up yet. So he's going to be guiding the Highlanders, one of the premier programs in 1A football in the entire state of Tennessee. Number two, then at 1 o'clock, and I'm kind of looking forward to this, I'm going to have the Big Sky Commissioner. This just came up about 10 minutes ago, and remember we talked about him with SoCon John Hooper on Monday when we were discussing the Southern Conference Commissioner search. Well, we're going to be talking about to him because he was acquired by the same search firm. Well, the search firm doesn't want to talk about who they're going to get and, how the search goes. So why don't we go to one of their hires? Learfield Sports employee executive. Before that, a athletic director at Akron. So we're looking forward to talking to the Big Sky Commissioner. And he'll be on the line from Utah, actually. So that'll be coming up at 1 o'clock. And then, rapid-fire guest succession, Alex Doherty, A to Z Sports Nashville. What went wrong with the Preds? Boy, I mean, just a very disappointing end of the season. What can I tell you? I mean, it is just losing in 6 to the Dallas Stars, still not getting the power play right. We'll talk about what happened, what's going to happen coming up. I wanted to talk, however, a little bit about, to begin the show with Marky's monologue, there's been a lot of he said, she said lately in sports. Actually, just the other day, there's been this he said, she said. Locally, let's talk about Rick Barnes disputing a report that, well, he didn't shoot Greedo first, but he did contact UCLA first. Or so the Atlantic says. Rick Barnes says that's not the case. I'm inclined to believe him. However, there's somebody else. All right, Marty Blazer. He's a former financial planner who has pled guilty to defrauding clients, and he's defrauded quite a few. But on the stand, and that's the thing to remember, on the stand, he has fingered a lot of college football programs, including some, shall we say, programs that always consider themselves above cheating, Oh, the Southeastern Conference, that means sure everybody cheats. Those sort of programs. Well, one of the programs actually that he says that he tried to finger was in fact Alabama, but how about this? North Carolina, maybe not a surprise after the Butch Davis era. Pitt, they've been on mild probation before. Penn State, they've been on probation before. Michigan, Notre Dame, Northwestern. Now, in the case of Marty Blazer, who, this is basically the college basketball fraud trial and the FBI investigation, going and touching now college football. The idea that there might be hush money or payouts and all this. What Blazer has said, what Blazer has said is that Blazer says he has paid him $10,000 to basically consider not leaving school early. Here we go. From 2013, Blazer says he routinely paid top college football players in violation of NCAA rules in the hopes that he would either be able possibly to keep him at the school that wanted him to, or that he would say, hey, let me invest this money for you. Let me show you what I can do for you as your agent, as your financial planner. In 2008 and 2009, he said he had an NFL client. His father was also an assistant coach at Penn State. That would be Larry Johnson Sr., who now works at Ohio State. And his son was an NFL running back. Blazer said the assistant coach set up a meeting in State College between the assistant and the father of a Penn State player who was considering entering the NFL draft rather than returning for a season of college football. And Blazer has testified the assistant asked him to provide $10,000 to the player's father to take some financial stress out of the decision. The money was supposedly returned, but the player, according to Blazer, turned pro anyway, drafted 11th overall. That player, by the way, would be Aaron Maben out of Penn State, who was drafted by the Buffalo Bills 10 years ago. Some juicy pre-draft talk, a little bit of history here. Anyway, the coach wanted the player to consider staying. The player was leaning coming out. Hey, this is the Paterno era. Maybe he's not as squeaky clean as the Homer media of State College wanted you to believe. Now, of course, Johnson is adamantly denying Blazer's assertions, saying it's not accurate at all, absolutely false, never ever ask anybody to do it. It's not me. He's dumbfounded by the allegation. Why is it that something like that comes out and nobody says anything to me? This is the first call I've gotten. This is absolutely amazing. All of a sudden, this Marty Blazer guy can say just whatever he wants? Or can he? Because, let's face this fact. He's on the stand. Now, Blazer's a very sketchy character who, like I said, has embezzled money. But he has no motivation to lie on the stand, under oath, when the penalty for doing so could be so severe. Basically, he's a bad man, or is identifying himself as such. And, as Pat Forty writes, given what we know about how high-level college athletics works, it's far easier to believe than disbelieve a Blazer, even if that means, ooh, Penn State, Notre Dame, Northwestern, maybe not as clean-cut as previously thought to be. Doesn't prove anything. Maybe, Blazer's such a scumbag that he would perjure himself. Okay, it's possible. But then again, that's what people wanted to believe with Dre Bowles back in the Williams-Johnson rape trial. That's what the delusional Vols fans wanted us to believe, and it just was very hard for us to believe that Butch Jones didn't call Bowles a traitor to the program when he had allegedly helped a rape victim instead of playing, shall we say, keep our mouths shut about this whole thing. All right. Now, got a little bit more. That turns us into Rick Barnes. But we're very close to a break coming up here. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another break here on Tri-City Sports Now, and I'll tell you about Rick Barnes. And we'll get the hockey playoffs, and then our interviews, Glenn White, Big Sky Commissioner, as well as Alex Doherty, A to Z Sports Nashville. What went wrong with the Preds? It's Tri-Cities Sports Now.